precisely 1:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Sabrina Zawahir. First, the headlines. First consignment of Covishield vaccines arrives in the country. The vaccination process begins tomorrow. A special traffic plan is underway in connection with the Independence Day celebration. The COVID deaths in the country now stands at 290. And in world news, Sydney reopens after outbreak contained. Now the local news in detail. The consignment of Oxford AstraZeneca's Covishield COVID-19 vaccines from India has reached Sri Lanka today. A special flight AI281 chartered by Air India touched down at the Bandaranaike International Airport with 500,000 vials of doses packed in tailor-made boxes for the purpose. Indian High Commission in Sri Lanka, Gopal Bagle, officially handed over the stock of vaccines to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The stock of vaccines are to be directed for cold storages of the Health Ministry. These facilities are being covered in 25 districts at health medical offices. The vaccines will be given to the health officer staff and to the members of defence sector first. The vaccination program will commence tomorrow. Indian High Commissioner Gopal Bagle engaged in religious activities at the Hunupitiya Gangarama Vihara this morning. The chief incumbent of the Vihara, Venerable Dr. Kirinde Asagithera, invoked blessings to the High Commissioner. The 73rd Independence Day anniversary celebration of the country will be held on Thursday. The police says vehicular movement around the Independence Square in Colombo will be restricted from 30th of this month until 4th of next month. Rehearsals for Independence Day are set to be carried out from 30th to February 3rd. National Independence Day celebrations will take place on February 4th at the Independence Square. DIG Ajit Rohana said that the vehicular movement will be limited around Independence Square, Independence Avenue and other connecting roads from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. during the rehearsals and on from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Independence Day. Meanwhile, he said that rapid antigen tests will be conducted in 12 places in the Western Province. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing local news. According to Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry, 772 new COVID-19 cases were reported yesterday. Among the positive cases identified yesterday, 742 are associates of the Paliagoda COVID-19 cluster and 30 are arrivals from overseas, including 29 from Israel and 1 from the Maldives. 189 COVID cases were reported from the Colombo district, 178 from Gampaha and 93 from the Kalutara districts have been reported. According to the Epidemiology Unit report, a total of 60,694 COVID-19 cases have been reported and 7,838 infected patients are being treated at hospitals. Another 781 individuals are currently suspected of the infection or hospitalized. Sri Lanka reported 2 deaths yesterday, raising the total to 290. With that, we conclude the local news. The main news story follows.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Sri Lanka Railways has announced that the Nuwara-Manike intercity train, which runs on the upcountry line between Colombo Fort and Badulla, has temporarily ceased its operations. The Nuwara-Manike train requires its passengers to reserve the seats in advance. However, due to the low number of reservations, the authorities have decided to suspend its services for the time being. However, those who have already reserved seats for the Denuwara-Manike will be accommodated on the Pudi-Manike train, Sri Lanka Railways said further. The department also stated the Pudi-Manike train will begin operation from the Colombo Fort at 6:30 a.m. from today. That came to you in our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Watchlight, the indigenous doctors say that valuable Ayurvedic herbal plants are in a threat of extinction. This has become a severe problem to produce medicinal products needed for the Ayurvedic treatment. They also emphasize the need of large-scale cultivation of herbal plants. At present, the Ayurvedic treatments are popular among the public. That came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news follows.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
The headlines of the world news. Sydney reopens after outbreak contained. Biden administration to restore aid to Palestinians. Biggest global poll supports global emergency. Now the world news in detail. 2 Australian states will reopen their borders to New South Wales after it managed to control a COVID-19 outbreak in Sydney. South Australia and Queensland will remove their travel restrictions on Sunday and Monday respectively. It comes after NSW reported 11 days without a locally acquired infection. About 180 cases were tied to the Sydney cluster, which emerged just before Christmas and prompted nationwide travel bans on the city's residents. Credit to New South Wales, they got on top of their cases, said Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk. US President Joe Biden's administration will restore aid to the Palestinians that was cut by his predecessor Donald Trump and reopen diplomatic missions. The acting US envoy to the UN, Richard Mills, told the Security Council that Mr. Biden supported a 2-state solution to the Israeli-Palestine conflict. To help advance one, he said the US would restore credible engagement. Palestinians broke off contacts with Mr. Trump's administration and rejected his peace plan as biased towards Israel. Despite the pandemic, almost 2/3 of people around the world now view climate change as a global emergency. That's the key finding from the largest opinion poll yet conducted on tackling global warming. More than 1 million people in 50 countries took part in the survey, with almost half the participants aged between 14 and 18. Conserving forests and large land emerged as the most popular solution for tackling the issue. With that, we conclude the world news. Prior to concluding, the headlines of the world news once again. Sydney reopens after outbreak contained. Biden administration to restore aid to Palestinians. Biggest global poll supports global emergency. With that, we conclude the world news. Next up is the development news.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, the Rural Roads and Other Infrastructure Ministry held a discussion on the traffic reduction and road development projects in the Gampar district at the ministry's auditorium recently. The event was held under the patronage of State Minister Nimal Lanza. The discussion covered traffic congestion in the Gampad district, the expressway interchange to Biagama, as well as the road development projects carried out with funds from the Asian Development Bank. That was the development news. Next up is the sports news. Taking a look at the sports news. T10 Cricket League tournament organised by the Emirates Cricket Institute will begin in Abu Dhabi today. The tournament will be held until the 26th of next month. 8 teams will compete and it includes 29 matches. The world powerful cricket players will participate at the tournament. 4 players will join the tournament representing Sri Lanka. That was sports news. The business news follows.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Jaffna International Trade Exhibition will be held on 12th, 13th and 14th of March at the Jaffna Matueli Sports Grounds. It's been held for the 12th consecutive time. The exhibitions includes the stalls relating to the construction industry, tourism, information, technology and food and processing. That ends Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
A program to enhance organic fertilizer production is being implemented in the Galle district. The objective of this move is to increase the use of organic fertilizer by 30%. Accordingly, the district committee has decided to provide necessary fertilizer to farmers to upgrade agriculture sector. That was economic news.
Hello, Buddha. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, it's a look at the weather report. The Met Department says showery condition is expected to enhance over northern, north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in Martale district during next few days from today. Several spells of showers will occur in northern, north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in Martale and Hambantota districts. Fairly heavy falls above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in the eastern province. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the northwestern, central, Sabaragamuwa province and in Galle and Mathura districts after 2 p.m. That was the weather report. Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. First consignment of Covishield vaccines arrives in the country. The vaccination process begins tomorrow. A special traffic plan is underway in connection with the Independence Day celebration. The COVID deaths in the country now stands at 290. With that, we conclude the news and over to my friend and certainly yours as well, who's all geared up to keep you entertained with a wonderful collection of music indeed. Over to you, Niranjan.